1909. Roll call. Mount Honor.
Greg Phillip. Chris Williams. Greg Phillip.
Chris Worland.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Next, we have nominations and elections of officers as our first thing.
Need to swear in before we can do that?
Yeah, because I'm not
Did
here
not
board
take
yet.
legal vote.
We do need to swear her in, and I don't have the paper.
Yeah, that was one of the things Andy was working on.
Okay.
At 4.
I bet you I could find an old one.
Yeah, that worked.
I need to run and get my kiddo, but can I just tell you guys about the sign real quick? Just,
Yeah.
I think it's on there. So the construction on the sign, the foundation and everything, the construction for the light pole was slated to start on Monday.
Oh,
We looked, they're off market now.
cool.
Haven't been to get locates, because that's just a rat's nest. That's where our main power is. Anyway, just.
Good. Great.
It's looking good. We're trying to weasel it in there as much, so as little as blocked by that power pole. Post construction, we didn't need that power pole there, but the power's probably got to have it. Anyway, just wanted to interject that. And
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Yep.
I have it on a flash drive in my car.
Well, that's not. Nope. I thought I had an old version of that in here. And. Yeah, you might be able to get it off your car flash drive before I can pull this together. That's. Like, yay. That is. This is very unprofessional.
There you go. I appreciate that.
Oh, please. I guess it did long.
In your fancy new truck. Thank you. Minutes for the meetings. I'm going to take my minutes for these meetings tonight. I'm done, yeah. Okay. I was recording as well because I just didn't know. So, yeah. And I'm hoping to pull it and transcribe it and maybe I can email it. Like, I just didn't know who was handling it.
Office, it's on this agenda, but it's not.
Don't have physically.
Probably 60 some years since I've done it. Yeah. No, yeah. No, I.
They're all SDAO forms. If you will go to your computer or a computer and you look for oath of office, there should be one in there.
I got a laptop here, do you want that?
Will it, but it won't print.
It won't print, so you can read
Okay.
it.
You can read
You can just read it.
You just need to read it.
Okay. Yeah. You want to sit at the table with us?
What's that?
We don't mind.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Well, we bite, but you've been warned.
That's a,
Don't feel
I
like
go.
Where was the fire tonight? Do we know? I just wondered if the one in Helix blew back up or
I
something.
hope not.
Well, he said it was in the heat area.
Oh,
Yeah, it was not. But it was a.
It's a heat,
Not a. Not
Right here.
Yeah.
Let's go fire.
Wow, that's stuff.
Items?
I got it. Probably too much stuff in there.
Yeah, it's back from Helix. Triforms. Open office. It's gonna be one of those. Nope, try the other.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
Am I the only one that has to say it?
Yeah, cause we're already, well, I guess we all do, but. Right?
Hi, say your name.
'Cause we. You get passed. We all just got. elected.
Oh, right, you three.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we would just insert, I, Matt Hona, do solemnly swear I'll support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Oregon, laws thereof, and the policies of the East Umatilla Fire and Rescue, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of director according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I, Greg Phillips, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, Constitution of the State of Oregon, and laws thereof, and the policies of the Helix or of the East Umatilla County Rural Fire Protection District. I will faithfully discharge the duties of director according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I got that right.
It's all right. We recovered.
I, Chris Worland, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Oregon, the laws thereof, and the policies of the East Umatilla Fire and Rescue. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of director according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Thank you for your computer.
Yes, I
What
said
do
I
you
was,
put
I said I was here to, said I was here to help, so.
Next month, same time, same
Yeah.
place.
We're sworn in, I would open up nominations for election officers. So we'd have a president, vice president, and secretary.
Well, I nominate Matt Hona as the president.
I second.
I nominate Greg Phillips for, where were you last time?
Who's secretary?
I was the sergeant at arms.
Rejected.
Okay.
I was the sergeant at arms.
My computer wanted to hang on to that.
Secretary, go.
I nominate Greg Phillips for secretary.
Second that one.
I'll second that.
Now we just need the vice.
Now we need a vice president.
No,
No.
You up for it? I nominate Chris Williams for
I
vice president.
second that.
I second it.
Heartbeat.
Oh, that hurts.
Okay, so the officers have been nominated and seconded as Matt Hona as president, Chris Williams as vice president, and Greg Phillips as secretary / secretary.
Sergeant at arms, yeah.
I move we close nominations.
Okay. Nominations are made, seconded, have been closed. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Anything else to add, to the agenda?
I move we approve the agenda.
I second it.
Been moved and seconded.
Second a lot of these that I'm not allowed to. I kind of get to go out.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Here. Any public comments? I think we got a pretty good rundown in the last meeting.
I agree.
We can get into financials and payment of the bill in minutes. So starting with financials.
I just want to start by just expressing my appreciation, Joanne, for your diligence and the financials are in good shape. Thank you for your good work. I know you spent a lot of time and effort into it, so I move we approve the financial.
Second. And I certainly agree with your comment. She's working hard and doing an excellent job.
You guys have the same initials.
I'm brand new to the fire, so I have no.
Like, yeah. You have the same initials. But
CW1, CW2.
I'm CJ.
CJ? Okay, you'll be CJ from now on.
Where did you put me?
And you,
Oh, I'm
Seconded.
Chris Werlin Phillips.
Chris, CJ, all right.
Is that not what my name is? Chris Werlin Phillips.
Oh,
I guess on the financial.
I guess you got married. And you didn't know it.
Greg.
Lois is gonna be really upset.
That's okay, Dave won't.
You gonna say 69 years, how'd that happen?
Happen in biblical times all the time. It's good.
So Chris Williams moved to approve the financials. Was there a second?
Yes, I say.
Okay.
Greg.
Second, great. All right. I just gotta keep my initials sorted out here. Any further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Payment of the bills.
I move we pay the bills.
I'll second it. Just so you get used to the CJ.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it.
Uh,
A petition makes proof.
Any further discussion on that? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Minutes from last meeting. There's two actually to do. One is from our regular scheduled meeting on June 19th. Everything looked pretty well in order.
Yeah.
The only note I would make is there was the chief's contract increase of $208. That's not total, that's like monthly.
Mhm.
So we just want to make sure that's,
Oh, clear.
clear. But, and then there was the special meeting on June 30th that I was not able to make it to. That was the Zoom.
That was the second budget.
That was the second budget.
So were there minutes for the first budget meeting? Or should there be?
The one on the 24th, it was more of a work session because we went through all the numbers and we updated all the stuff on the screen that day.
But we did vote.
We shouldn't have. I don't think it was a meeting.
Well, but it
It wasn't.
we were going to, but we didn't end up because we had to move all that stuff around and then we had to,
Okay.
then we tabled
If
that.
we don't need minutes, if you don't think we need minutes.
I don't think we did minutes. for
Okay.
that.
I'm good.
But then you guys had the meeting when I was gone.
Right.
So those are the two for signatures. Any edits on those?
I have
I have
Okay.
on the new. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I move the minutes be approved.
Second.
I'm sustaining.
Been moved by Greg, seconded by
Sustain.
Chris.
We're not sustaining.
I know.
Those in favor?
Aye.
That was Terry's last act.
Yep, that was.
Yep.
He served very well. He did a good job.
He did.
Yeah, and he went out with a bang.
That was scary.
Okay.
I can-
The whole business, we've got the Pendleton Fire Offer, payroll, HR, duty, etc. And it's great that you're here. Did everybody got that?
I need to refresh my
Okay.
memory on that.
I sent that out a week or not 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks
I
ago?
think 2
Must've
weeks
been.
I think it's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's
Time's flying.
Yeah, time is flying. I've been gone.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll just give a synopsis over. I'm gonna pull it up here so it's fresh. Of course, I didn't flag it. There it is. Okay. Okay, so the number is, it's $100,000 annually for payroll and HR services. If we were to want them to do accounts payable, it would be another 45,000. So that,
Yep.
those are the numbers. And then there's a breakdown from the chief kind of on what we're spending. I didn't go to the penny to the actual number on what everything is, but between the administrative specialist salary, benefits that go along with that, the payroll that we're contracting right now, gets us pretty close. I don't think it gets us quite all the way there, but it's not that far away. You know, it's within, I think the numbers I came up with was somewhere between 80 and I want to say it was between 80 and 90,000 that we're already paying for those. And I think chief has this 46,000 plus benefits of 19.2, so that'd be 65, right? It'd be about 65,000 in salary and benefits. And then we paid another 34 to Jensen and Spratling. So that'd be, you're looking at pretty dang close to 100,000 there. And then in my mind was backing off some of the administrative specialists, because if we didn't still have a part-time person, we couldn't take the whole thing in savings. We'd have to pay for some of that. But it got us really, really close. So I think it's worthy of a discussion from the board. And it's nice that Chief Parati's here to answer any questions we might have. So.
I'd just like some examples of what HR services are. Like what function would that be?
So, that's a great question. And really, it would involve me as a chief trying to help what you guys have here as administration. To be honest with you, I mean, that's kind of relevant. But that also gives me privy to Sherry, who's our HR director, and she has a whole slew of people at her disposal that she can talk to, legal counsel and about labor law and payroll law and FSLA, and there's just a whole thing that kind of get real nuanced, and even that I don't have a whole grasp on sometimes, but that would allow us to then, through me, go to her if there's any questions here to figure it out for whatever the said issue may come up with. But essentially that's what it'd be. It'd be the access to Sherry, all that stuff, but I would then be embedded in it to, help answer, help communicate, whatever would be there, but it'd be kind of the chief spot too. I could, help, but that's what the HR to me for human resources would entail.
Does that cover like onboarding of new employees as far as getting all signed up for health benefits and retirement PERS and all those type of things?
Yeah, actually that'll all be part of the payroll piece.
Okay.
Yeah, so the payroll side will actually would handle all that. So if someone came on, Sherry already has a packet. We would use her packet to onboard. It would have, your guys' insurance, but that would be the update. But then all the payroll stuff would happen on the payroll, and they would get that from the person, and then they'd have the pay scale, and they would get all that fixed. But yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about if it came to like employee discipline, like documenting those things? Is that somebody involved in that process too, or?
I would think that'd be HR.
I would say yes. And I was talking to Jeremy earlier. One of the things, and when I came to Pendleton 5 years ago, and I come from a big system, and so there's like protocols for everything. But like I said, one thing that people like is stability, and that even goes with discipline. So they understand like what happens when something happens.
Right.
And we usually call progressive discipline depending. And so, that would look like, that we would be involved, but you do just a sit down with somebody like, hey, you can't do that. The officer, whoever, would just make a note like in a file. That's all it would be. The next thing would be, I have a form. You do what we call an educational counseling. So you'd really outline what they did wrong, why they did it wrong, what either manual or what it broke. What are the expectations moving on? And if you don't meet those expectations in time period, then we move progressive discipline, which could be a verbal counseling at that point, and then you move up. But that would all be in it.
Okay.
For me, I think that'd be part of that chief's thing. And I think those processes and systems help stabilize some of the stuff that can go on in fire departments. And with stuff, and then it gives you an avenue to, correct issues that are needed. And again, discipline is all used to change the behavior, and you want to use the lowest level of discipline to change the behavior. And that's my philosophy anyway. But yes, I could be embedded as much as I think the board wanted me to, and we could, if we wanted to, if you guys were going to do it with that 190, we could outline some of the administrative chief participation that you guys would want. And that would just be included, and I would help as much as you guys wanted to. So.
Thank you.
I guess I missed the first part. You had quoted 100,000 and then an additional 45.
Yeah.
What's the 45 for?
So the 100,000 includes that HR portion and the payroll. The extra $45,000 is pretty much would cover you guys completely. It would all your APs, all your billing, your audit. Our finance guy would end up building, your end of the year report for finances. It would probably go through me, but we'd have it all. Everything would be done basically by Pendleton for you guys across the board. Bringing whatever the whole kit and caboodle essentially.
And do you have the capacity to do it without adding people?
Yeah, and that's why that number came up, because we would actually, there's overtime worked into the couple positions that would have to onboard that, and that's kind of where some of that number comes from. Is we had to kind of.
But you wouldn't
figure
hire
out.
anybody full time.
Not initially. I'm trying to get people anyway from the fire department, but yeah, not because of this. We could handle this internally as we have it now.
Well, that's 145,
amazing.
but you said we were close to 100.
Yeah. We're
Yeah, but
close.
we're not, oh, sorry.
Oh.
And not my meeting.
No, go ahead.
We're not looking at them taking over accounts payable at this moment in time.
Okay.
They were just bringing it in
Yeah.
to
Okay.
give us an idea. So the first step that we were looking at, is my understanding, it was gonna be HR and payroll.
So whatever you guys want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the two we broke it up to those two options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't necessarily know if we wanted all three or not. With the accounts, having a part-time person to answer phones and pay the bills and just kind of make sure that stuff's on track.
So that was the additional 45.
That was the additional 45, was
Yes,
just for that stuff, just so that we had a tier 1 and a tier 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
But it does warrant us to look at, because did you say the billing as well? So medic billing and all of that would be included?
That would all be rolled in at 45.
So we would want to look at what we're spending on that. I know right now we said we kind of wanted to hone it in, but that's something that we should look at on the medic side for sure.
I think Tactical charges like $30 a billing. We use them as well. We use the same one you do.
Oh, okay.
I think they charge about $30 per. And I can tell you that conversation at Pendleton with our finance, because we pay them about $125,000. And we have a new finance director, Josh. Linda had left, but he thinks that we may be able to do it in house again and save money. But that would be passed on as part of it here. But just to be transparent, we use Tactical now that you guys use. But we're going to look at a feasibility study of us bringing it all in house for some savings. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there was I'll just say there's probably a little sticker shock initially, but it really, when you start diving into the numbers, it's like, not really, it's in the ballpark, so.
And how does that get split out between medic and fire? We'll just give you the bill if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
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 And he's like, yeah, we'll pass it right back to you.
I know, go back into the idea, so I'm good. But no, that's what I think we need to start having a work session on how we're gonna do that. And in my mind, and I'll speak pretty candidly, the importance of getting the two into one budget so we don't have that issue. It's just, that's what it costs, that's what we're paying, right? So we don't have to, is it this side or is it this side? Does it come off this ledger or come off this ledger? I don't want to get to the point where we're not having two ledgers. And I don't know what the split is, right? We look through the personnel, we figure it out, and if if it's a 50-50 split or a 60-40 split or whatever, where, cause it's really for personnel mostly, paying for people and paying for the HR of the people, then it probably should get split out of, or
Fortunately.
proportionally to the personnel that we have. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, the medic side will take on the tactical part,
Tactical part.
medical billing.
The part we already paid for.
Yeah.
It's just a tough negotiator.
Well, we're not looking at that quite yet.
Remember, you sit on both boards now, so.
Yeah.
Just another question.
Yeah.
For you, in regards to the HR, because I do like the idea of Tony sitting in on some of those I mean, that, I'm hearing correctly, right? So, and is that, let's say, that Andy, if it's on the medic side, that Andy would sit in with you? Because I think it's really important, and where I've seen some shortfalls within a medic is helping and grooming and leadership and, growing those people,
Absolutely.
so that they understand that process.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Andy had already reached out to me, he had a family thing, so he had to miss it, but he'd already reached out to come and ask me about some procedural things. And so we were already going to meet, but yeah, absolutely. I think it's important that you mentor and build the knowledge within the place. Because what we're doing is, we're talking about today and tomorrow, but we really want to set this place up for 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road. And that's all building the base and your people who will, end up rising up and becoming, we want to give them the tools, the ability, like I talked about earlier, to be able to be good leaders in the organization. So that, yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of them, I would be, yeah, yes.
Well, I think as we look towards this county-wide initiative, working better and more together, being more a cohesive unit, I feel like this is a step towards that process. Besides, like I said, serving our short-term needs, this is a step towards that greater cooperation and partnership and unities, so.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense for us two boards, but I'll go back to our employees. They're really important to us. And I think that we've fallen short in some areas. And this could help start to bridge some gaps. And also show them where they need to be as well. It's a two-sided thing.
Sure.
Yeah, and again, I just come back to the looking downstream, looking around the corner, where are we going to be, 6 months, a year, 4 years, 10 years down the road. And this, I think the countywide thing, I'm super optimistic about that, but I'm also a realist, and I know that's for a couple of years in the making, very likely. And this gives us some sort of bridge until that's available, right? And it feeds into that. And who knows, it may just work anyway, right? And so, that's kind of where my mind is going, is how do we set this organization up to be functional, a year, 2, 3, 4 years down the road.
And I can tell you even that bigger picture, I was talking with Jeremy earlier, that Pendleton's in the same boat. I mean, it's just a different system, but our volunteership is down. I can't get reserves back. 22 times a month I run out of resources. I'm asking the city for people. They have a limited general fund, and it doesn't really sustain it because people are expensive. And so Pendleton too is in the same boat and would need the bigger picture to help supplement service at one point. I think the only folks that maybe are doing good is UCFD1. It's just because that's one of the biggest growing cities, but Pendleton has no growth, and so it'll really help Pendleton too. It'll be a symbiotic thing for all these us folks to come together to continue service delivery to our citizens. And I'm administrative chief in Pilot Rock. They're also the same boat, and I know Tim Wanke, their board president, is really interested in getting conversations together to get this like 190 to make this kind of bigger authority. So I think it's all kind of in the prime. I think people are seeing it, but it is about relationships at multiple levels, board levels, chief levels, and you have to be on board with all of it or it's not going to work. And so getting those relationships goes will take time, but I think it will happen in the next couple of years. If I had to predict it.
And I think we're on the right trajectory with whether it's this 190 for these services that you guys can help us with. Some of that will be streamlined with the CBA once that's done, because that'll help outline some of those processes and some of those other things. And so we've got a lot of things that are different, but they're all kind of working in alignment to eventually get us to where we need to be. So I don't know that we need a decision tonight on this, but this is more of a, the numbers are the numbers. We should probably figure out some sort of work session on how we can, here's how we'll actually fund it within our existing budget. And then, we can have a decision down another month or two on that, but.
Yeah, and I think you guys may be fairly close with that budget that I just put together, just with a few changes. And so there may be even some more capacity with savings in there, again, having talked to Jared, just, brainstorming about starting points. And so I think with some nuance, I think you folks will have a good starting point and, that may look fairly close, depending on what you want to add. I know there's some volunteer things in there that I took out because they would get rolled up into that reserve wage thing. But you guys can add what you want, but I think there's a pretty good capacity for even some further savings that may lend to make it a little easier on the budget to ask pay the $100,000 for Pendleton to help out. But yeah.
Does Pendleton have volunteers?
We do. We have reserves as well. And I was just saying our reserveship is way down. In fact, I'm running only about 12% of our call outs get plugged by reserves, and which isn't very much. And then another between 20 and 25% I get career staff coming back. So, I'm looking at almost 2/3 of our call outs we go unstaffed. And so that's where we're coming up with the 20 times a month. I run out of resources. And so if someone calls 911, I'm either calling you guys or UCFD1 or tribal, but now we're looking at time, and if it's serious, it's an issue. But yeah, we do, but volunteership is just not what it used to be. People are just busy. They got so many other things going on, and they don't want to sit around and wait for a call. Usually on the big ones, you get people come in, which is great, but then Pilot Rock's the same way with,
Too many little ones.
yeah, it's just, it's going to be, someone can figure out how to motivate this new kind of generation to be really community oriented and give some things up. They're going to make a lot of money. But yeah, we're all struggling right now for sure in that area.
We used to have a lot of them.
We got a few. Well, it used to be that's what it all was.
Yeah.
Everything was. Besides Bill Boyd and Don Jackson. Everything else was volunteer. And so we've made strides on the career side and tried to get some staffing so we do have people consistently, but yeah, we don't have the depth.
Am I right, Matt, that there was a point about 15 years ago where the training requirements to be a volunteer, like the state up the level of training required to be a volunteer firefighter?
And you would know more. There's probably a slight difference, but it's virtually the same training package, the same hours they got to put in, the same stuff. And so
as career people,
person.
it's almost impossible to get people to come in just on weekends or one night a week to get them where they need to be. And even then, you can check these boxes and they have this cert, but in reality, it makes me nervous actually having them go interior or do some certain things like they just don't get the reps. And so then it takes even more time just to get them the reps with other people. And then, you're looking at 1 or 2 years and then they get discouraged because they're like, oh, well, I can't even go do this anymore. So then they're like, well, I'm out. I'm going to go, work at Les Schwab or wherever it is because this sounded cool, but I'm not even getting to do anything. And that's part of the problem is that training requirement is you can't get people plugged in quick anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm super optimistic about this. I think further discussion is needed. But I think I don't sense any,
Right.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm very optimistic about it too.
Okay. Next is CBA update. I don't have a ton other than the ground rules were hammered out.
Meeting tomorrow at 11
And
p.m.
we're meeting tomorrow at 11:30 to sign.
I won't be there.
And that's okay, because it should be pretty straightforward saying, here's how we agree to deal with each other. The clock starts now and it'll be 150 days, I think is what I saw on there. So we should have it all buttoned up by, we sign it tomorrow. I didn't do the math on 150 days, but that'd be like,
Do our staff know that you two are the contact people from the board?
I don't know.
Because I stopped in with my grandma goodies this last weekend and got cornered. And I repeated over and over and over again. Go talk to Matt and Christine. I don't know anything. Go talk to them. They're the ones.
Well, but
I don't know anything.
that's not our, like, they need to feed all their stuff through James.
That was the one that cornered me.
And James is their, like, he's their rep. And the
Yeah.
reps are meeting tomorrow.
And the rep needs to take it to you guys, not me.
Well, it's,
Well, not to us,
No.
to Jared.
he needs to
to
bring it to Jared, like, when we start formally meeting, that's when it needs to happen. Like, there's,
Okay.
like, we're not doing stuff on the side,
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's in those meetings. So,
well, and I know this much.
yeah,
I know who to point to.
yeah.
And Matt,
Well, go ahead.
if you will make sure that, because there was an email, I think that went out, Chris forwarded on to me, but in regards to this, but my name wasn't on it, so
Oh, yeah.
just,
Have
If-
him and
You'll have everything.
yeah,
If you're not on there, I'll make sure you get it and then you should get it updated. So you
sounds
get it.
great,
Yep.
thank you.
But yes, tomorrow is just to start the clock and agree to the rules. And then we'll be meeting. We'll kind of discuss timeframes. We'll figure out schedules and then we'll try to get something established to get, I don't know, a handful of meetings to get it knocked out. Again, it's with the budget piece that's produced. A lot of the other stuff is gonna be, copy paste
It's
from the
gonna be-
health and stuff. It's gonna be pretty straightforward and it's gonna come down to the number. In my mind, it's gonna come down to the numbers.
I think it's gonna go quicker than you all think, and I think it's gonna be easier than you're anticipating based on what you heard. I think I think it's,
Yeah, Jared said he
Yeah.
really felt that within a couple sessions.
I don't, I
you
think
know.
so.
So,
It's probably gonna be harder to merge schedules than it is to get it done.
Yeah.
To be honest, so
Yeah.
feel pretty good about that.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
We have the proposed pay scale.
Mhm.
Is this what Pendleton offers?
No,
Or what we feel we can afford to offer?
yes,
Okay, thank
that's
you.
why that was built.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was.
taken
that's-
off of the layout that we had for wages, because we worked on wages and everything,
It looks like a very similar format. The members might be slightly.
Yeah,
What
I
is
mean,
that, what sort of schedule is that based on?
the pay scale.
Yeah, because you have it not in dollars per hour, but in like an annual salary. So what?
Oh, you can, I mean, we can break it down. I mean, essentially people work. The 50-hour work week is really difficult because some months you work way less, some months you more, but the average is 240 hours. And so what you end up doing is averaging 3 months, and everybody, the payroll all will work around 240 hours essentially, even though like 1 month you'll work 9 days a month, 1 month you work 11, and in the middle one you work 10, but it all will work around this average on a certain cycle, 28 day. FLSA gets worked into it, but that's what is great about having the payroll and someone that does it, because that will just get feathered out. But essentially those base salaries were looked at to give your folks a bit of a bump, but also be able to make some savings in it. And I can be honest, we just kind of shot at that number, and I was going to build the thing, and we're going to see where we're at, and we're just going to adjust from there. And the first one actually kind of came out with some good numbers. And so I lucked out that way because it can be kind of time consuming.
Yeah.
But yeah, did I answer your question?
Okay. Any other questions about? All right. Fire authority and significant Milton free water fire update, which I don't know. Chief's not here to give us an update on that. Unless you know anything about the fire authority, like, I know there's folks still talking about it, but it's, again, I still think it's a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, because I'm a big driver of it. And so I can tell you, I actively work with Scott. Because I'm trying to get something to work there. I have Pilot Rock actively trying to work. I've been talking to Dave at this point, so it's nice to finally actually, I mean, Dave's great, but him being my communication piece and being the middle person, again, that communication being nuanced with him, I think things get messed up. But I'm actively working on it with Rob, the city manager, as well. And so I kind of feel like depending what happens, I can accelerate relationships or not. And I have these all going, but so I don't know. Yeah, it may pop with UCFD1 and Pendleton first, and maybe it happens here after we have administrative work with Pilot Rocks. They're interested. So I can tell you that I'm actively on a weekly basis visiting with all the chiefs. We have meetings about it. Our next step will be after roundup and after fire season, we'll set a meet for the board presidents everywhere, and we'll kind of get everybody in a room, figure out what a working group would look like. Because essentially what's going to happen is, and I don't know if it was explained, but 190 is going to create a new executive board. And that new executive board, which will have representations from all the players, will then have a budget, and they will then run the whole authority on how that looks. And there's just a lot of nuance to building that. And so the relationships will be the first one, but I think it will take a while to build what that 190 looks like, because you have to, what's going to be the pain and how do we do it? Is it like percentage of calls? Is it population? Is it a little bit of both, or how much money you're bringing in? What happens when you get out? What happens to rolling stock? What happens to facilities? What happens, on an annual basis so there's a lot that will be built in that. And I have a model one from Utah. They have 21 cities that participate in their fire authority. You guys were there. Dan Peterson was at that thing. They're a whole different situation. Ours all have to be nuanced to us, but that document, I think, is what is going to be the biggest piece that'll take a while to build. But I will get that working group meeting sometime in September. And I'm also meeting with the commissioners, because I see it that if we can cover a big part of the county as an authority, I would start asking the county to start putting money into it as well. And I think it just would help. Then again, more money streams. UCFD1, they kind of touch Amazon stuff. So all of a sudden the whole system gets to benefit from a lot of stuff. So, but yeah, kind of a long
And no dead man's area.
Hopefully. Well, technically with this new House bill in 2026, there will not be any. The county will cover. So essentially, if we go to no man's land, we will bill the county, and they will have to bill the homeowner. So there technically won't be any. And so it'll I think behooves the county to help us do this, because I don't think they want to be stuck in between having to put liens on people's houses to collect money.
They're going to want that to be covered by some sort of a district.
I think so. So
it will, yeah, it'll be their problem for a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's helpful.
Yeah.
So we'll table the Milton Free Water stuff. The next is sign light pole installation. Jeremy gave an update on that. I think good there. So moving into new business, supplemental budget requirements.
Was that if we chose to go with the Pendleton this meeting, that we would need to generate a supplemental budget, or?
I don't know if that's is that what that was? Okay. So do we need to vote on that then?
Well, I don't think we can vote on it yet until we come to an agreement with,
We have to have a work session.
yeah,
first.
but that, it was mentioned in one of the emails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll table that one then. Okay. Report safety fuels vehicles. Didn't get. And then the generator issues update. I see there's a generator out there. I don't know if it's hooked up.
Didn't they hook it up like last winter? Or last, I thought it was already ready to go.
I thought so too.
Well, no, the prep was in, but we just got the generator not that long ago, I thought. I thought it was gonna go inside the block. But it's outside of it.
I guess we'll have to wait for that.
Yep, and then chief's report questions, chief's not here to answer the chief's report questions, so I did have a couple, but since to ask him. Does anybody have anything for the good of the order?
None here.
They're on a fire out there. So I guess I'll bring up one thing. Just for everybody's awareness, and Chief's not here, but I received a phone call the other day on the Helix fire about, I'll just couch it as the response, what our folks were doing, what the chief was doing. I don't have all the information on that fire or what happened, gone. But there was some concerned folks with either, not enough aggressive attack on the fire, not enough, kind of holding back and running around and not really, they weren't very happy with the action that our district was taking on that fire is what I got. Is that?
I got a similar call yesterday.
Yeah. So I did get a call on that. And so did Terry, just for awareness. Terry got a call from somebody out there, and so he sent me a nice email that I replied to him last night and said, yeah, it's tracking. So there's more follow-up in my mind as well, just to kind of get some more context around the situation. But one of the things, and Chief's not here either to talk about what they did, what actions they took or didn't take. But for the board's awareness, I think my suggestion to Dave will be to try to AAR that fire, get at least a rep from the responding agencies that were there, because East Umatilla was not the only district there. I'm guessing there was, I know there was some ODF folks there. I'm guessing there was probably some of the tapped into mutual aid system. So whether UCFD1 or Pendleton was there.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah. So I'm sure those other partners have some things to say as well. And then I think we need to get a couple of the larger impacted farmers that were there with the response, and with the intent of improving in the future. So let's figure out how to make the next time one happens go smoother and better. And that would be my suggestion to the chief, and
I
try to set that
absolutely
up
agree.
sooner than later. Like,
I do
next week,
know a rig got burned over and someone got transported, so that's another really good reason. There's probably some lessons learned in whatever happened there, so I think that would be a good thing to put out at the AAR.
Yeah.
I have heard that too.
Are the complaints coming in from the same source or?
Nobody shared a name with me, so I don't know.
Okay.
So I can't say. Could be 3 individuals, could be the same person talking to 3 of us.
The one that called Terry and found out that he was no longer an active board member is the one that called me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that sooner than later, obviously,
If you don't AAR them quick enough, they lose the validity because you forget, did I actually do that, or is this actually how it went? And they're really hard to do immediately because you're still kind of, the adrenaline's still pumping. So like the next day, a couple days later is ideal. I think we're still kind of there. We got fires, so if that could happen sooner, it's better. But I was thinking like next week, trying to get some feelers out, see if we can get people together and just have an AAR. And I'd be happy if I wasn't there, so I could facilitate it. I have nothing, I had nothing to do with the fire. And it's really about, those are about that incident, what happened on that incident, and how do we make the next incident go smoother. It's not,
Gossip from before.
I don't like you, and I don't like what happened 20 years ago.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
this is like, no, it's for this incident and how this incident unfolded from start to finish kind of thing. So it's an industry standard. I would say.
Absolutely.
Like we do that on a lot of, usually it's more significant incidents, but really if you AAR them all, it's even better, right?
Yeah.
Even a small
Something to be learned from every incident usually.
So that's for the good of the order. Is that
That covers my
That was good.
All right. Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move with you.
Second.
Been moved by Chris, CW, seconded by Greg. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And meeting was adjourned. I got 19:59.
Look at you.